All right, this is Kevin. We should actually be live after about 10 minutes of screwing around with stuff, and we still don't have it right. And that's the point of the live informal show here. So this is the Free Agent Uprising show. For those of you who will be listening to the podcast later, you'll notice I don't have the intro music because I'm just not there with all this yet. We're still trying to figure out how my system works on this new platform that absolutely works. And Libby Webb is with me today. And we are broadcasting live on Facebook, but I've got a system here that I haven't quite figured out, and Libby can't totally figure out from her end. It's a more complex system than most people should have because I'm trying to record a podcast, the video, and do everything. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. I do have folks in the live audience on Facebook that have been waiting patiently, and I apologize. I'm going to give them a note real quick here and tell them that we are live, hit play, and see if they are, in fact, seeing us and we're live and in person. Meanwhile, Libby, you are coming to us from New Market, Alabama, where you just slid into your office chair from your restaurant, I assume?
Yeah, actually, today is a restaurant day. With prepping, just been in town, picking up groceries and Sam's Club, all the good fun stuff you do with the business owner.
Yeah, I understand that, and I'm going to ask you a little bit about that. Okay, so looks like we are actually live. Okay, so folks who are with us live, and even with the recording, I'm hoping that we can bobble through this a little bit. And again, I've got a setup here. Libby is the guru with doing what we're doing now, which is broadcasting a live Google Hangout on air and broadcasting it on Facebook. We're going to talk about why we're trying to do that. But it actually, I mean, it all works. It's all just slick as snot. I just happened to have messed it up as she talked me through it the other night, and I did not take good notes for one. But I'm also just going through a sound mixer that I've always used here. For some reason, we're not getting the audio to go through correctly on our ends, and Libby's getting a bunch of feedback on her end. I'm hoping that the recording and what you guys are hearing is going to be sufficient. Just let me know. So for those of you who are watching, the comment area, instead of the chat box that we used to have, the comment is actually happening right here on Facebook, which is a part of this whole deal, is utilizing the show, bringing it to where everybody already is Facebook, and instead of bringing it offline, trying to bring you somewhere else, and having it happen right here where you could hear a show and just go, my gosh, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. All of my friends need to be listen to this. You can share it right here. You can tag people, all this stuff. Although today I am not going to be pushing you to do that a whole lot because we're just trying to figure it out. But we're recording the podcast, as we record on here, and again, we're going to talk through the details in just a second. It's actually recording a YouTube video, and we'll be posting that as well. Mainly, I just want the audio to come through correctly. But the cool thing is that those of you guys who are watching are seeing me as you usually do, and you're seeing Libby. And in the future, you'll be seeing as many people as I possibly have on right here, and it's a different platform than some of the things you've seen me do. Okay, first off, Libby Webb. Libby I have known for at least 3 years, I think. She was a Free Agent Academy member. She and her husband own a restaurant, New Market Barbecue in New Market, Alabama, and she has done what few little restaurants do, and she's embraced social media. They are kicking butt with that, and now she has started up a business helping other people with social media and primarily with Facebook. So we're going to get into how that relates to what we're doing today. But real quick, Libby, I wanted people just to get the quick and dirty on you going from a real job to starting the business, the barbecue business with your husband, how that happened and why, and then you leaving that corporate environment in essence and going full-time on your own. Give us the synopsis there.
All right. Well, my husband and I got married 25 years ago, and moved here to Huntsville about 20 years ago. And so my first 18 years here in Huntsville, I worked for a contract manufacturer called SCI. And so over the course of 18 years, I got my degree and did the traditional things that most people do in terms of education and moving around and stuff. but I never was feeling satisfied. There was always some little something out there that I really wanted to do. And to be honest, as soon as I graduated, I immediately jumped into something else because there just wasn't enough for me in my day-to-day job. I always wanted something else. Just couldn't put my finger on it. So I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit with respect to learning about, other businesses and just other different ways of making money. So I've always kind of had that spirit, and so has my husband. So in 2005, actually, my husband really bit the bug about wanting to own something in the food business. He wanted a restaurant, and I just honestly wasn't ready to commit to that. So we actually compromised and got into the concession business first. That was our first foray into food. We actually owned a kettle corn and lemonade business. We used to travel around all over, primarily actually in the Nashville area, because people in this area in Alabama didn't know what kettle corn was. So we've done a lot of traveling with our concession equipment and stuff. We worked really hard for a couple of years and decided that was too hard of work because we were working full-time jobs still, but it was at a time in the industry when nobody was giving raises. So, and here we sit today, similar things are happening now. People are being furloughed and cut back, and so you're really left to your own devices to find other ways to make ends meet sometimes, or even just extend your income and find other ways to have the things you maybe want to have and do in your family life. So that's kind of what drove us to do what we did in the food business initially, was just trying to add some extra income. And but then we got into how hard the work was and traveling and being gone all the time. So we kind of really got our foot in the door with food and kind of decided we really were naturals at serving people, and decided to start looking around. And when we found the place that we own today, we really weren't looking for an existing establishment. I can say absolutely the Lord had his hand in introducing us to the owners of this place, because at that time, which was in 2008, we were really looking at starting something from the ground up. And I cannot even imagine where we might be today had we have stepped in that direction versus actually buying an existing establishment, which was the absolute best thing that we could have done, because already having a following of some sort and us being able to just take it from where it was and bring it up a level enabled us to actually be more successful than probably we would have been had we started something from scratch, not actually having hands-on experience in the restaurant industry. So it was probably a big blessing in disguise. So, and my husband actually quit his full-time job with Boeing. He worked for Boeing for 20 years and, came to work here in our restaurant full-time. I actually maintained my employment at that time, so we'd have health insurance and everything. And we bought this place in June of '08, and in August of '08, I actually took a new full-time job with Lenovo, a computer manufacturer, and, really explored the concepts of working from home. That was the first time I'd actually ever done that, and really got to know myself a whole lot better. And it wasn't too far after that, Kevin, that we actually met, because it was in 2009, when I had not even been with that company a year, that I was really realizing that this wasn't for me, and working for someone else. And I had really been bitten hard by the entrepreneurial bug by working from home. My restaurant's 50 feet from my house. Anytime I wanted to get away from my Lenovo work, I could just go over to the restaurant, right? So it's like I really didn't want to be sitting in here in my office. I wanted to be over there playing and having a good time and working with my husband, So after, I don't know, maybe 6-8 months of that, I really started looking hard at doing other things. And that's when I met your dad and started exploring 48 Days to the Work You Love, and really started internalizing and looking more at myself, and did the personality profile and all the different things that I needed to do to kind of walk in terms of figuring out what I was really meant to be doing with my life, instead of working hard every day for somebody else who, at that time was a brand new company, who didn't know me. They didn't have any history on me. I had one person that knew me there at the company that actually got my foot in the door there. But after leaving somewhere for 18 years, when I had a level of authority and recognition, and I had a voice, to moving to a brand new company and I had no voice and had to build relationships all over again with people, it was so much harder than I ever expected it to be. I was just very unhappy. So I was very thankful, though, that I made that leap, because it really changed some things financially for us, and just really made me stop and look at myself. So it was really, I think, a well worth journey in the end, because I maybe would not have taken the time to explore and look inside and really look and feel what I wanted to do with my life, instead of just forever working for somebody else. So In May of 2010, they actually relieved me of my employment. They could tell I wasn't happy, and they were looking at the whole model of work from home and the fact that that really wasn't working for them as a company. And I was relieved that it happened. I mean, so I officially was laid off. I kind of knew it was coming, so it wasn't a big surprise. But after working for 25 plus years for somebody never being laid off, it hit me harder than I thought it was going to hit. It really hit me in the ego, and I was sad for a while, but I got over it pretty fast. Then I just turned all my energies and effort to our own business and really started digging in deep. So at that point, we had owned our place 2 years, and I really had not been focused too much on the restaurant, and I really started throwing my energy into that, as well as a local community project. I had been asked to help with a playground build here locally. It's just 1 mile up the road from us. There was a big community built playground project that took about 7 or 8 months of my time, actually, but it was time spent that was great. I built a lot of relationships in the community, met a lot of people that I didn't know before, and it pushed me actually in a direction of learning some things about Facebook that I did not know before, for my own restaurant. And the experience I gained from that, I in turn also applied to the restaurant. And that's really when I started getting a lot of people asking me for help. And even though I didn't feel like I knew a whole lot, I knew a whole lot more than a lot of other people did. And even folks in the Free Agent Academy community were telling me that, you really need to be teaching people this stuff because you know more than the average person. And I just didn't have my confidence at that time to do it because I was still, hurting over being laid off, and I didn't have it yet. So, now fast forward 3 years later, and really the last 2 years I have been head down working hard in our restaurant. Our following has grown tremendously. I've been really researching a lot of different tools and things that help us use social media better to grow our business. And now for myself personally, I've launched my own personal brand and have my own personal branded fan page, and I have started hosting weekly Hangouts like this one to actually talk all things social media. So, and I would never have done that had I not found this platform that we're using today. It's called 22 Social, that enables you to actually host your Hangout right inside of your fan page. There's other platforms and tools out there that let you do it inside your website, but I'm all about Facebook because of the social engagement that builds that following behind your brand. So I really think this is important because it's all about building community. If you can get people behind your brand and really talking about you, and you're not having to do all the talking, it really helps grow your business a lot faster than you can do by yourself. So that's okay. Now I can hear you. It was muted. I couldn't hear you.
All right.
Say that again.
Okay, now I'm probably going to have to mute you out, though, so it doesn't echo. Hold on. Okay, so I muted Libby. Now I'm back. So sorry for that, folks. And that's the screw up that I have with my setup that I'll have to figure out after our show here is what I've got going wrong there. So as Libby talked about, though, let me share something with you guys that I've seen. I've talked about this a little bit in the recent past, that what I was seeing, and then when I talked to some of my peers, realized they were seeing as well, is that here we are doing all these things at our websites. We're in our membership communities, and we're using Facebook and Twitter and all the other places to engage with the audience that's over there and then bring them to our conversation, which is our blog comments or our membership area or our chat rooms or whatever it may be, and we're using it as a channel to get people, or a place, a signpost in essence, to bring people over here. And it seems like over the past year, or, months or year or more than that, it was harder and harder to do that because people are over here on Facebook. So this is what would happen with me. I'd put a blog idea, question maybe over here on Facebook, ask a question, and then boom, 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 all these comments happen, and people are talking, conversation's great. I think good deal, hot topic, one, I know, and I've got some great content and commentary to bring over here. Now I'll write a blog, post that because I know it's a good deal, good conversation, post it, and it'll just be great. And I'd post it, and crickets. are chirping, or or there'd be a handful of comments. But I'm thinking, gosh, all this great stuff was happening on Facebook. That's really irritating. Well, I started talking with some other people and heard the same testimony. Yeah, I'm getting less and less comments at my blog, and yet anything I do over here on Facebook is just going wild. Okay, so that's happening. Then next thing that's happening, I have a membership community, okay, and I use a social media platform for that. I use Ning, N-I-N-G. There's a lot of others, Wishlist member and Kajabi and some other ones that friends of mine are using. And so we've gone over here and we've made this big investment in a membership community where we can talk and have these great conversations and great engagement. That's over here. So I've got this here, and then I'm over here on Facebook. And boom, I get pinged by people like my brother Jason Smith, who's on the live audience right now, and he's talking to me over here, which is kind of fine, but then I'm thinking, well, geez, that's what we made the membership site for. Again, though, this is where people are. This is where he is much more than over here in this membership community that I built, even on this common topic of free agency and self-employment. He's already over here at Facebook, as are other people like Libby and so many other folks. Now, then the other thing that happened, third thing, is I found myself with friends and people that I follow on their blogs. They'd post something. It's just incredible content. And I had a conversation going on. As a matter of fact, I'll name the name. It was with Morgan Snyder. Morgan is one of the primary people with John Eldredge, the Wild at Heart author, and he's one of the right-hand guys at Ransomed Heart, which is that ministry. He wrote a blog, this is months ago, and I responded to it or left a comment, and then he left a comment, and somebody else did, and there's this incredible conversation, and I'm thinking, man, I want to pull some of my friends over here, but they're not subscribed to the blog. They're over on Facebook, and that's when it's kind of hitting me that, okay, I'm kicking against the goads here, because what can we do over here on Facebook and keep things going here? So this is the thought process I have. But we also have, and a lot of people will understand this, you have the issue of, Facebook, it's not something that we own. It's a channel. It's somewhere we can engage, we can participate, but we don't actually own it. So to have all of our content over there is not necessarily what we want to do, but how can we leverage it? Now, here comes along Libby, and I'm just kind of I haven't been totally paying attention to what she's doing, and then I see, wait a minute, she's doing a Google Hangout on air, and it's on Facebook, and everybody's watching. Son of a gun, what the heck's going on here? And so I contacted Libby, what are you doing? And she says, okay, there's this incredible new platform, and you got to check it out. Well, so I'm going to give it back to her here in just a second, but what it did, if you guys were with me, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I'm sitting here right where I am, okay? You guys are watching, and I got this big screen TV behind me, right? And I did this call with Alan Jackson, and so I got his big head on the TV, and I've got mine, and I'm trying to do a dual live streaming thing, and then here I find out, wait a minute, they're already doing this. It's called Google Hangout, and you can see it perfectly just like you are now. If I hook my audio things up right, you get the audio. We can have this conversation, and as many people as I want can participate, and then the comments can happen just like they are right now. I mean, it shows 26 comments just since we started here. You guys are talking. Speaking of that, Joseph, I saw your thing that you posted here in the comments. You said, I don't like that the video's at the top of the page and the comments are down below. You can't see them both at the same time. And as soon as you posted that, I thought, the thing that's separating them primarily is all my verbiage, my content. So if you haven't already, refresh your page. I just whipped out that content, and now you can see the video box, and well, it depends on how big your screen is, I guess, but I can help that during the shows to where the comments are tucked right there under the video probably, and I'm sure Libby can help me with that, but we'll take that off air and talk about it. So you guys get the point. You can do a Google Hangout on air that is free. You can have as many people, well, you can have up to 9 other people besides yourself on there. So I'm going to be interviewing people with other experts with me in the coming weeks, and we'll have those all up here so you can see it. It's going to happen on Facebook where you already are. While we're doing, the comments are right here, and I'll be in the future especially really promoting people to hit the little call to action buttons so we can gather your information. and to tag people and bring them in so that they can join the party, and there's this big party happening right here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, I'll get out the bugs on my end, but let's go back to Libby. I'm going to have to mute myself out, unfortunately. I apologize for that, but I'll mute myself out and let her tell you a little bit about this application. And are we promoting it? Well, yeah, sure. And she's going to use, we both got affiliate links that we use, and you can see how it works. She's going to explain it. Speaking of that, you guys see that I'm using freeagentuprising.com/live. That goes to this page, and now she's going to talk about it. Now, to promote her, you can find her at, you know what, I'll let her tell you where to find her. Okay, right now I'm going to mute my little self out right here. Let me see if I can.
Get this right. Okay, so now it should be working. I think we're both hitting the mute button at the same time. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let me first address your comment about not being able to see the comment stream as well as the video at the same time. One of the cool things about this platform, or using Google Hangouts, I've been a really big proponent of Skype for a really long time, but now Skype's charging you to actually do screen share. So Google Hangout, the sweetest thing is it's free, right? So you can actually do screen share with Google Hangout. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and just show you how to solve that problem. So I just shared my screen, so I'm going over here to Facebook real fast. Can you, I'm going to flip back over real quick. So can you see my screen good, Kevin? Okay, all right, I'm seeing it change there. All right, so let me, and I just shared the link here on my own timeline that I'm on live with you guys, so I'm going over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right back over here, and I'm going to click it one more time. I'm clicking this link twice, so now I've got it open in two different tabs. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize my window here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to break this up into two screens. So I'm going to drag one of these off into a new window. Let's see. Give me a new window here. Let me just drag it off to the side here. It actually brought it over to my second monitor I got sitting up next to me here, but hang on just a second. I'll get this right in just a minute. But the idea here is you can actually have the video sitting right here, and then you can have in a second window over on the side here, you can have the comment stream. So I'm going to scroll down. This is just one way to solve it, guys. There's multiple ways to handle technology, and this is just one way of doing it. So right here, right now, we can see the video, and the which I'm not going to hit play because then it would actually give me reverb in my ear, right? So I'm not going to hit the play button on the video, but here's how you can actually, in two different windows, have both the video and the comment section off to one side. So now you can kind of keep up with the conversation. And one other thing I'm going to show you is this little box right here that says auto refresh. If you're getting ready to actually type in a comment, uncheck that box, and then now that we've got this in a window, I've got to scroll over here and hit add a comment, because if you have that box checked, maybe by the time you're in here typing whatever, and if that auto refresh is checked, it refreshes like every 60 seconds. If you're not finished typing your message and have not yet hit comment, you'll lose your comment. It'll be gone. So if you're getting ready to start typing something, uncheck that comment, that auto refresh box, type your comment, hit submit, or hit comment, it says over here, and then come back over and recheck that box, because that way it will keep this screen refreshed for you as new comments are coming in. Okay, so that's just a couple little technical things, and I'm going to pop back over here to the thing and unshare my screen for a second. So one of the other things too about this platform that I really like is the fact that it's completely social. So as Kevin pointed out, at the very top of the screen, in the top left-hand corner, you'll see buttons up there that let you recommend, tweet, share, comment, Google+, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And I actually host a weekly show myself, and at the onset of my show, the first thing I do is just let everybody know that, one, there's a little bit of a delay, about a 45 second, sometimes about 30 seconds, between what we say and what you hear. So at the onset of any show that you're watching as a Google Hangout, there is going to be that time delay. So most people will ask you to go ahead, if you have questions, to go ahead and put them in the box so that they're prepped and ready to go. So by the time we can kind of get around to it, we can see them down there. So, all right, so that's out of the way. The 22 social platform that we're using here is awesome on so many different levels. Google Hangouts is just one of the things that you can do with the 22 social platform. It's what drew my attention to it initially, because I had been wanting to do Hangouts and had been looking at a couple plugins for my website and things like that. And but I'm such a Facebook geek, I wanted to do it on Facebook and had been looking around, couldn't find anything. And actually these guys have been around for a year, but they really just got this working around May to June timeframe of this year. And what's beautiful about this platform is that if you scroll to the bottom of the comment stream, I'm going to share my screen again. If you scroll to the bottom of Kevin's screen down here, you're going to see get your free page. Let's see. Yeah, see, I'm on split screen here, so right, so you're seeing my split screen over here on the right. It says click here to get your own free app. So anybody can get a free one of these pages, and when you click and get a free one, it will attach you to Kevin. So the way this thing works is that if you become a premium user of the platform, which it's only $22 a month, you then if 3 people start using this platform as a pro member, then Kevin's would be free. It would be forever free as long as he's got 3 people using it at $22 a month. And that goes the same for you guys. So any one of you that click here where it says and start using 22 Social as a pro member, if 3 people start using it because of you, then yours is free. And again, Hangouts is just one of the things that you can do with this platform. So I'm going to show you real quick on my, I'm going to just take you to my restaurant page as a really good example of the different ways that I use the 22 Social platform in ways other than doing a Hangout. So if you are a business and you have products that you sell or different kinds of content that you want to showcase, if you go to newmarketbbqfanpage.com, that will actually show you this tab right here. newmarketbbqfanpage.com will bring you to this page. Now I'm going to bring this out so you guys can see this bigger. Instead of seeing that other page, I'm going to just maximize my screen here. So this is just one of the ways that you can use the 22 Social platform. There's a lot of different layouts. There's different templates. I have mine set up where I've got a photo slider in here. You could have video. You could have, whether it be YouTube or Vimeo links, you can host a Hangout in that little old window right there if you wanted. Or if you look at the layout of Kevin's, of course, he's got the big video at the top, but you can choose a different layout. You can have call to action buttons in here. For me, I use one of these buttons for folks to go check out our online menu. The other call to action button is my cake giveaway. So I'm actually running a contest on another tab, and I'll show you that in just a second. It has all your social buttons built in here where you can get people to engage with you in other platforms online. And then this bottom section, you can choose to have this or not. Again, it's in the layouts. You can have either no section here at the bottom, or you can have 2 or 3 subsections in the bottom. And I'm just using this as an opportunity to talk about our catering and some of our customers' reviews that have been written online. And so I've got a call to action button here at the bottom of each one of these where they can, read more reviews, request a catering quote, or check out our special offers. So again, now that's a third tab that I've built here on the restaurant page. They have coupons built into this thing where you can do coupons, which is pretty cool. And at the very bottom here, it displays each page on 22 Social has its own comment stream. So that's a unique comment stream to that tab. Okay, so it's a tab app on Facebook on your fan page wall. And then over here to the right, you have your actual timeline activity. So people can actually see your latest and greatest content on your timeline. So let me just scroll up here and show you, for example, my cake giveaway page. So every week I host a contest where I give away a cake. So every week I share a new picture. Like this week I just shared my carrot cake, and it goes through this photo slider of all my different cakes for over the past several weeks. And I'll show you how that's done here in just a second. But again, I've got calls to action in here, and I have them push the button to enter my giveaway, and then they can also enter us a fan review. Now on the enter giveaway, and so Kevin, I'm going to explore this a little bit. I'm going to go into the setup here and just show people some of the features behind 22 Socials. The fact that they have what's called a social relationship manager, that actually, because this is integrated with your fan page, it collects information from every one of your customers who engage with you on your page. So any one of those call to action buttons that a client touches, it actually will then in turn store their information right here in what's called the social relationship manager. So it stores their email address, where they live, and their date of birth information right there. Now, I actually have this attached to my customer relationship manager, which is GetResponse, but they also have Aweber, Infusionsoft, GVO, iContact, MailChimp, Office Autopilot. And Kevin, I saw your message earlier. They just added that one shopping cart like this week. That's brand new. I didn't even know it was there until you mentioned it. So that's awesome. They're continuing to add more and more systems every day. So there you go. There's 2 more new ones that have just been added this week. When I started using 22 Social, GetResponse was the last one on the list. So they've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different systems just in the last 4 weeks, I'm going to say, because I've been using about 3 months, but I'd say all of those have been added in the last 4 months. So by you attaching your customer relationship manager to your 22 Social tab here, you then have the option, I'm going to show you real quick here, in the content, and here under the buttons, you then have the option, like when I tell people enter the giveaway, you have the option of sending them over to your GetResponse autoresponder. Okay. Now for me, what I'm doing, I'm having to do this one just a little bit differently because I need their cell phone number. And right now, the only thing that you can send over through Facebook currently is name and email address. You can't send over phone numbers, and most people don't even have their phone numbers in Facebook. So for me, for my contest, I need people to give me their cell phone number so I can call them and let them know they won. So what I'm doing is actually routing them to my sign-up form, okay, which then lands them in my autoresponder. And then right here, here's the button for entering a review. I'm actually not attaching that to a GetResponse autoresponder, but I could. So now you do have the responsibility of ensuring that in terms of meeting CAN spam laws, that you inform people that they're being signed up on your list and give them a way to unsubscribe. So in your own responses back to people, they should be able to see that in your autoresponder emails that come through. Let's see, one more thing here I'm going to show you under text and media. This is where, for example, if we wanted to host a Hangout like we're doing today, this is where you would drop in your YouTube link for the Hangout that we're doing like right now on Kevin's page. If you wanted to just show a stagnant YouTube video on your page every time, then you just lay in that YouTube link. If you want to showcase a photo lineup like what I've going on here, all you have to do, this is the beautiful thing about this, it's integrated right to your fan page. All you have to do is select a photo album right off your fan page for it to show the pictures. You don't have to do any extra work. Just be sure you have the pictures you want to showcase in an album, and they are the first 10 pictures you want to showcase, because it slides through the first 10 and then it starts over again. And then you have the option here to put in your heading and then all your content. And again, you've got every one of these sections can be modified. You got text and media down here, and this one happens to be just videos. And right now they don't have photos in here, and that's something that we've asked to be added, and I'm sure they'll get to that pretty soon. And then again, as I said a minute ago, every single page has its own comment stream. And again, you can determine your own layout for that page. Let me just show you that real quick while we're looking at the contents. You got layout right here, so you can have, like, this is the one Kevin's using right now, the big video at the top. And again, that can be a video, it can be a photo slider, it can be a Hangout link, or no media at all if you don't want any media. And then it's got your text, your big call to action button, and the comment stream down below. And it can have with a map or no map at all. If you're a physical location like me, I have the map in there. And then you have the option of a smaller video with your calls to action and your text next to it, and then your comment stream and your fan page wall. And then on the next page, and this is the one I'm using here, I've got the 3 subsections down below. So you got either 2 or 3. Okay, so those are the major things. And then one other thing, let me show you as far as style. You can change the colors in here. You can change your header font, to any kind of, you've got these are all, I believe these are Google fonts. You can select all these different header fonts. You can change whether your text is in black or white, and you can change your body font. It's pretty, there's a lot of different things you can get creative with this thing. You can change different backgrounds in here behind your, you can get creative and do all kinds of crazy stuff. You can turn the shadow on and off, and you can make it a light, or what's called a light or a dark mood. So if it has a black background or a light background. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do with it there. I'm not going to save that. Let's see here. What else can I show you?
Hey, Libby, I just muted you out for a second there. If you put yourself back on the screen so I can see you, just 'cause I think I was trying to chat with you, but I don't think you have that box up. I wanted to pull out a couple things for you guys on that, and one of the powerful things there. I mean, you guys, you know that with any kind of a thing, marketing effort that we're doing, I mean, the number one thing that we can get, we always think about a sale, but the number one thing we can get is an email address. I mean, that is the numero uno thing, because most people, with what we as a culture of people selling premium products, not commodities, but premium products, and we're selling them online, products, services, messages, information, whatever, we're usually not going to make a sale right off the bat. It's going to take a little bit of time. And so getting the email address so we can nurture those relationships to a sale is number one. And so a beautiful thing that she was explaining to you that a lot of you guys may not totally understand there is, let me just explain what happens. In the past, what I've always done, you bring somebody to your website, you give them a good offering and entice them to give their email address. And they have to type their email address in, and sometimes their name, sometimes we'll offer more information. That's a big deal. I mean, it's a really big deal. What happens here on this 22 social deal that she showed you is I have a little call to action button down there. It says join the Uprising, and in the future what I'll be doing is really promoting that people sign up for our email list, join us, register, so that they'll know when we do a live show, which we'll always do Wednesdays 2 p.m. Mountain Time like I do now, but then saying as we're going to more and more be interviewing people who have an idea and how that idea could work, or they have a fledgling business and how that idea could rock, that business could rock. As we do that, we may not do that all at the Wednesday 2 p.m. time. We may do them at other times. We'll let you know on the fly when we've got a live show. You can join us. To do that, just click this button and register. When they click that button, okay, that's the beauty of this thing. When they click that button, the little box pops up like you're probably used to seeing on different applications, where it says, "Can we, get your profile information through Facebook or whatever?" And you just say yes, and boom, that's it. I've got your email address. And that's why she was talking about we have to make sure that we're complying with all the spam things and stuff. But that's huge. You didn't even have to go in and type it in and possibly misspell it, or in the process of typing it in think, gosh, do I really want to give my email address to something else? I just got it. Now again, I'll be letting people know, hey, we've just got your email address, or that you're giving it to us. We'll tell people that, but it really takes out some of the extra steps, and that is a huge deal for gathering people's information. Couple other things I want to point out, though. I also want to call out to my buddy James Garner. James just joined in here. He and his sister run Celiac Diva, celiac disease. Okay, CELIACDIVA.com, I believe. And if I got that wrong, James, tell me here in the chat box. He just joined saying, "Hey, this is really great." Oh my gosh! First off, James, you need to talk with Libby. And Libby, post your in the comments box. Post where you guys. I'd ask you now if I wasn't having to do this mute back and forth crap because of my screw up setup. But put it in there in the comments where you want people to contact you, and I'll say that as well. But you guys got to talk because they have knocked it out of the park with Celiac Diva. James' sister does videos, primarily utilizes videos, and has a gargantuan following, huge following, where they have a big income stream coming in through sponsors and advertisers and affiliates and various different multiple streams of income. They've done really well on this. Yeah, what a great platform this would be for them. But I'm just honored you stopped by, brother. And James is right down here in Colorado Springs. He's a fellow Coloradoan as well. But real quick on an overall, okay, you guys are seeing a thing here, a best business practices tool that we're talking about. But this is a piece of this. As much as we talk about, this is a piece of the strategy. As much as we talk about, okay, everybody's over here on Facebook, let's join them there. You got to ask yourself too, okay, at some point we actually need to make a dollar. How do we do that? If everything's happening over here on Facebook, how do we actually make a dollar? Well, the point that we're all learning, and I'm learning and being a student of, is we engage people where they are. We make it easy for them to engage. And we get their information. We get permission, as Seth Godin coined so many years ago. We get permission to nurture that relationship. But the day that you create a website and create this great Facebook channel and do all that, you've got to tell people for the first time that you exist. That's gathering people, which is how we talk about within Free Agent Academy in our curriculum. That's gathering people. We've all got to go out and wave the flag and get people who don't know us to know about us. That's not just going to happen virally for most of us. We got to go gather them. That's what I've done to those of you who are listening now. At some point, somehow, I reached out and I gathered you. You didn't know about me. Maybe you found me through somebody I had already gotten a relationship with, but somehow you found out about me. That's the gathering stage. This is the warming. So now we're talking about all this great stuff that we're talking about is warming. Now, if you are listening to this show and go, oh my gosh, this is great, I got to tag a buddy of mine, that's helping me gather. But right here, what I'm doing is primarily warming that relationship. Now, at some point, I've got to close some of those relationships and actually make a buck. That does happen over at a website. Now, I have freeagentacademy.com. I am just about to launch freeagentuprising.com, and it will primarily, I'll show it to you, we'll talk about it, it will primarily be a sales page. It's to go and tell you what we're about, what are the benefits for joining our membership, and it's going to be a different model than what I have right now. And that is then all that effort, all that stuff you did. We're going to have our YouTube channel with all these videos. We've got our Facebook channel, which we're doing these shows on. I'm going to be doing all this effort, going out and doing promotions to draw more people to these channels, but then to ultimately say, look, if this is good, join us over here or buy this product, over here. Bring them to a killer sales page and then get a dollar, or 10 or 100 or 1,000 or whatever it may be. It does lead to that, and it's a strategy. And the opportunity is there's everything's always changing, and you can always jump in and be a rock star. The challenge is everything's already always changing, and Libby didn't go into this much. Actually, I'll let you do that next if you will. You can we have to focus also on, and I'm holding up for those of you watching the video, my iPhone. The mobile aspect of this, okay, which is I'm learning more and more and more about how many people in the marketplace are accessing everything through their mobile device, and it's really changing what we're doing. My current website, freeagentacademy.com, it's a custom website that we had put onto a WordPress template. I spent a good amount of money on that. It's a really nice website. It's behind the curve, and it's not mobile friendly. The cost to create it, to revise it to be mobile friendly would actually cost me more than just going and creating a new website, which actually fits what I'm doing right now anyways. But I'm having to do that if I'm going to meet the marketplace where they are. And as Libby will tell you about here in a second, what you guys are watching right now, which I have we did a redirect on the URL, so freeagentuprising.com/live, L-I-V-E, goes to this 22 social app in a way that she can explain to you better than I can. But you can watch it on your iPhone or your iPad or your smartphone or whatever all you're using. You can do it anywhere. And that is huge because we have so much of the marketplace accessing everything there. And if you're not accessible there, you just lost the opportunity with so many people. And especially for those of you who have a product or a service, that you do have some pretty comparable competition. If you're going to be promoting what you're doing and they can't access you right there where they're trying to, they'll just jump to the next person. So I think for a lot of people that sounds, oh my gosh, there's so many steps. You know what, there is, which is why I generally advise you get with the experts. And so here's one. If this is something that fits your product, your service, doing Google Hangouts and talking with people and interacting with people, then I would say get with somebody like Libby, who's going to, and you may have done it while I was sitting here talking, give us the information on where you want people to get a hold of you. Okay, the main thing she's saying, just go to her page, just like what I'm talking about with mine here, and it's Libby Webb, LIBBYWEBB.com/live. She is currently doing a live show every week on Mondays. I know she's going to change the date here pretty soon, but she's doing it on Mondays, and she's talking about these very things. And she has the same thing there. The little buttons that are down there that ask you to, a call to action, like to register so you know when the shows are coming on, register with or register for the next show. And when you do that, it says, hey, can we access your information? And you say, yeah, and boom, she has your email address. Now she has permission. She can continue nurturing the relationship with you, and maybe at some point you'll buy something from her. You'll buy coaching, consulting on how to do this for yourself, or you'll purchase a product that she talks about, like the camera that you use, the Logitech camera she helped me find, or something like that, and you'll buy that through her link, and she'll make income, from that. But there is a lot. There's a lot of strategy. I'm going to be talking to you guys about what I am doing right now, and what I'm also, some of these same pieces I'm working with my personal clients on utilizing. Not everybody needs the same thing. Not everybody has the same type of message or product or service, or is selling information as opposed to a tangible product. So it's not the same cookie cutter thing for everybody, but a lot of them are going to relate overall to all of us. We all need to be going to where people are. We all need to be mobile, accessible, all those types of goody things. And real quick before I turn it back over to you, Libby, we talk about, Facebook is free. Google Hangouts are free. 22 Social, you can tell us, I think it was like $20 a month, something like that. And and then we talk about, how it can grab an email from people. You need she said CRM. I always called them email service providers, same types of things, customer relationship manager, whatever. That's something that you have to get. She uses GetResponse, and I think it's, depending on how many people you have in there, it can be, I don't know, 15, 30, $50 a month, something like that. So there are a few things that you can buy, but my gosh, she's got a barbecue restaurant. Their overhead is dramatic. This is very small dollars for having a business online. It's amazing what is free. And I also got to say, I love what you did with the screen sharing, that ability. And you guys will see me doing that more and more in the coming weeks as I get the hang of all this, where I'm sitting here and I'm talking with somebody. We're interviewing somebody who has an idea and doing a live show. I've got an expert like Libby, and she's helping me talk and give feedback, and we're talking a lot more jointly because I've actually got my system hooked up right next time. But we're doing that, and then we can, boom, share a screen, and you're seeing that. Or somebody asks a question and goes, okay, I don't understand how you guys are doing that. And boom, she jumps over, or I jump over to a screen. It's ridiculous. Unbelievable. So just a great way to offer people great value. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. Hold on, let me go over here. Don't mute yourself out, Libby, because then we'll go back and forth with the little mute wars. Okay, I'm going to mute myself.
All right. Yep, I'm back. Yeah, you can hear me? Okay. Awesome. Yeah, so let me just show you guys, if you didn't test it for yourself, I'm going to hold my cell phone up here in front of the camera, but this is Kevin's, let me kind of angle it here. I don't know if you can see that very good, but this is Kevin's page. If you put in Free Agent Academy or freeagentuprising.com/live on your mobile device, it comes right to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit the play button on my phone and watch it. It's going to flip around, and let me put that on mute so you can't hear it and it doesn't start playing, but it's going to flip over. It's oh, well, you can hear it, but there you go. So it's you can watch that, and then it goes full screen, right? So any mobile device that you use, you can watch these on. That's what's as one of the, for me as a business owner in a restaurant, the biggest thing in the past 2 years that I've learned that I'm really pushing with people is mobile responsiveness. Everything you do, you can even have it mobile accessible, but mobile responsive is the big deal. And when I say what the difference between that is just being able to get somewhere on a mobile phone is one thing, but how many times do you click something, and I'll just say like email. On my cell phone, I'm a big Gmail user, but I despise their Gmail app on the phone because it's so flippin' small I can't read it. I mean, in my old age, I got brand new glasses. I'm into progressives now because I can't see without glasses anymore. But the iPhone app, I can at least, flip around and I can, click on an email and pull it up and it resizes my text. I mean, I don't know if you can see that. I mean, gosh, y'all can probably practically read that through the thing. Okay, but if I go look at the Gmail app, it's so tiny you can't read it. That's the difference between mobile excessive and mobile responsive. If just being accessible and being able to see it is one thing. If you can't interact with it, and I mean, how many times you like open something up and it's so small you can't get your fingers in there to like type in or write in what you want to do, or maybe it's a button that you're supposed to push, like a call to action button, but the buttons are so small you're hitting 2 or 3 at the same time because they're so close together. That's crazy. So everything you do needs to be mobile responsive. To your point, Kevin, about your website, if you're not already using a theme that is truly mobile responsive, find one that is, because you're doing yourself a big disservice. There's a lot of missed opportunities with your potential customers and clients who may be running into your content. And if they're there, be sure to allow them to connect with you right at that moment in time. If you're losing that opportunity because your website's not mobile accessible or mobile responsive, you're really going to be missing out. And that's just potential business for you that, like you said, they'll go find somebody else who has thought through these things and provided a website in such a way that makes it easy for their customers to integrate and do business with you. I mean, everything I do, if it's not responsive, I'll go find one that is, and that's why I'm using GetResponse for my email, because they're right now the only email service provider that has a mobile responsive newsletter. So all the email correspondence that you send out will resize to the mobile device that they're using. So if you're on a Kindle, or if you're on an iPad, or if you're on one of those great big phones, or small, even like the iPhone, it'll all resize based on the device that you're using. And that's just really important. And it really tells your customers that you're going the extra mile for them and presenting things in such a way that makes it best for them to engage with you. So let me actually show you real quick too about one more thing over here on the 22 Social side. There's a couple of really important things that, let's see, I have to go to one of mine here. Like when we share the link, so matter of fact, Kevin actually made a mistake earlier, and I called him on it really fast, so some of you may have even seen it and clicked on it. He shared a link earlier on his Facebook timeline. All right, come on. I'm waiting on this thing to recycle and give me my page. Here we go. So whenever in 22 Social, you're actually provided a custom link, because what they've done is they have built 22s.com, for example, is their website that all of these pages are hosted on. What's going on here? Something has timed out and it's not coming through. All right, come on. Sorry, I don't know why things happen like this when you're... Anyway, so at the very top of the screen, whenever you see these custom third-party tabs that people build on Facebook that's not the native stuff that comes with Facebook, most people would just share this URL at the very top of the screen. And I hope you guys can see where my mouse is, but I'm at the very top where the URL is, and it's facebook.com / in this case, Libby's fan page / /app_ and all these numbers. Well, if you share that link, if you're on a computer, you can click that and it works just fine. But if you share that link on and someone clicks it from a mobile device, it says page not found. Okay, so that right there is not going to work. So what 22 Social has done is every single page that is prepared here that you build, they actually host it on their own server. I don't know what's going on. That either is my email, my internet, or Facebook slow as Christmas there. I don't know what happened. But anyway, so here's the page link. Every single page you build in 22 Social has its own link. So this is the link to this page, okay? And that is a mobile responsive link. So when I share that link, which is the same thing as like Kevin shared for his show today, I have my libbyweb.com/live being redirected to this link. So when people click on it, they'll be able to get to it from a mobile device, okay? And I also shared a video, I created a video a couple days ago, and I'll share this on my timeline later when we get done, but I'm going to just show you as an example. Like right here, I shared Kevin's link, freeagentuprising.com/live. You look on Kevin's timeline here, and y'all, it's a beautiful day today, and I have my door and my windows open in my office, and a bee just flew in. So if you see me jump and scream, it's because I don't want to get stung. So I'm going to scroll down here and look on Kevin's wall. See, when he shared this link earlier, all the 22 Social pages have this generic click here, blue button. But you do have the option when you share a link. So I'm going to just right click this and copy it. And I'm showing you this because this is really good information for you to know for yourself on any URL that you share on Facebook. When you paste a link, whether it's to your blog, whether it's to someone else's blog post that you share, or just a link that you're sharing from somebody else's fan page, when you share that link, you see right here you have the option to upload an image. So this is what I did just a second ago when I shared this of Kevin's. I uploaded a new image right there, and what I uploaded, I had just saved his timeline image, his cover photo, down to my computer, is what I did. And then you also have the option right here to change this heading and to change this subject down here in the bottom, the description. So every time you share a link, say for a given show for that week, even though the link itself doesn't change, you have the option of customizing your heading and customizing the description so that when people share it, so I'm going to scroll down here now and look at this one here. When you click share, because people will see that in their timeline, right? It's going to have the custom image you uploaded, and if I had modified the heading and description, it will also carry that information forward. So it just makes it more personal and is more specific for that particular link share post that you may be putting out. And that's the only way I do it. Whenever I share something, I always upload an image. And the reason why I do that is because it shows up bigger in the timeline, in the news feed. So let me just scroll over here and let's see if we see the one I posted earlier. Oh, there's a bee going. Sorry, y'all. Trying to ignore it, but he just flew right past my face. Let's see, that's my husband being silly. Well, I don't see it. But anyway, you see how big these pictures are showing up? This is how it's going to show up in the timeline. And I'm hating that I can't find it. So let me scroll back over here and just look and see if, Kevin, if you posted a comment. I did not have the comment stream open a minute ago, so I didn't see that. But anyway, whenever you share something and you change the image, always use as large of an image as you can possibly find, because the larger the image, the bigger it's going to show up in the news feed. And what happens is that it becomes a clickable area. So whenever you write your text in here, you see when I hover on this, you see it's got the hand on it. So all someone has to do is click this, and it's going to go right to his page, right to his live show. Same thing for this other post that I did down here earlier. Come on. This is an article out of Facebook Marketing that I shared earlier about 8 great things local businesses should do on their Facebook page. And so I did the same thing. I went right to their page where this article was shared, and all I did was I've got Jing, J-I-N-G, on my computer, and I just grabbed the screenshot. I just grabbed a screenshot of this whole image right here, because when you right-click it, you couldn't save it. Well, actually, it shows it there, but a minute ago I couldn't. I got a screenshot of this, and so when I shared the link to this page, I uploaded a new image, so it shows up really big in the timeline. it just gets more people's attention and gives you the opportunity to get more people's attention in the news feed, which is really important in terms of getting people to see your content when you do share stuff out. So I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting here to talk about. This is kind of throwing me off with us not being able to go back and forth, Kevin. So hopefully we'll get the sound stuff figured out so that next time we do this, it'll be more back and forth.
Mute myself. Okay, I think I just unmuted myself. Am I live? You hear me, Libby? Okay, I'm there. I muted you out. Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's the whole beauty of this, is talking back and forth like a conversation. So we'll figure that out. Well, hey, so much more we could say, but I wanted to at least introduce folks to you, Libby. And on that, I'm shameless in promoting. So for those of you, Libby Webb, LIBBYWEBB.com/live, and you can go see how she is utilizing this 22 Social platform, and how she's teaching me how to use it in the same way. And if this is something that fits you, fits your message, your product, your service, whatever you're doing, I would highly encourage you to just contract with her, get an hour of her time, or do a package with her and get her coaching and consulting on doing this to cut your education time down and to help you do it right. There, as you're seeing in there, there's so many things. With any of these good products, there's so many things you can do. You can get lost in it. And so to figure out what is it that you're doing, how does it fit you, there's some things that she's doing that I'll do differently because I have a different, a little bit different twist on what I do, what my product is. And that's going to be the case for a lot of you guys. So I would tell you, contact her there and do that. Now, one thing I wanted just to say on this, obviously, video is the focus here. Video. And that is something, again, that's just kind of a sign of the times. And it's not my favorite sign of the times, actually. I'm a words guy. And, I'd rather type.
I just unmuted myself. I want to say something on that.
All right, hold on. Let me mute myself.
Okay, so the whole thing about video, I'm sorry, this whole thing's throwing me off my game today, but this is really important. Google is giving more SEO ranking right now. When people do a search, you're going to rank higher in your keywords by hosting Hangouts than anything else you can do right now. Whenever you host a Hangout, as soon as this is completed and he ends the broadcast, it automatically uploads it to YouTube. And I don't know if you guys have done much with video, but it is a pain in the butt and time to get videos uploaded to YouTube. But with Hangouts, it's freaking awesome. I mean, as soon as we get done here and he hits end broadcast, within seconds, the whole thing is over there ready to go, because it's been compiling and doing its thing along the way here in the background in YouTube. And as soon as he ends that broadcast, it's live and ready for other people to view it sitting in YouTube. The only thing you have to do is then go back and touch that video to update, maybe refine the description, ensure that your keywords are noted there, optimize that video once it gets into YouTube. That way people will actually find it when they do searches. So this is one of the biggest benefits right now of doing Hangouts in your niche. Get out there, start interviewing people, start just giving value, which is what I'm doing. I mean, I'm really struggling with my schedule right now because I'm still trying to run the restaurant and get this new business off the ground. So I went ahead and just started doing my live show because it was a form of group coaching for me, and it's a way for me to give back, provide value, and build authority in what I'm trying to do here. So you can do it too in your niche. Just get out there and start getting your voice heard in whatever it is you're trying to do, and it will start building your awareness and you being found out there in the Google world a lot faster than any SEO work you may pay to get done, and that's pretty expensive. So anyway, I want to throw that in because I had forgotten to mention that, because it's really a big deal. Going back on mute.
Okay, that was great. Yeah, I think I'm off mute. Okay, yeah, absolutely. And that's stuff I'm learning about, how it helps the rankings. Now, on that, let me say something real quick with video, that I think a lot of people are still hung up on the idea that if you're going to do video, it's got to be just, perfection. And as professional as you can have it with the audio and the visual and everything, the better. I'm using a camera right now. My other camera, it's a high quality camera, but it came in through a FireWire, and Google Hangouts won't support that. So I got a little one that Libby told me about. It's like 70, $80. It's a Logitech, and it is so it's pretty cheap. It has great quality. I'm using audio, but Libby's just on probably a USB mic, I would assume. Yeah. Okay. To have it as professional as you can. Have good lighting. That's one of the worst things people do is they have lighting behind them and they look like a silhouette in a witness protection program or something like that. Have some good lighting. Have something in the background. I'll continue sprucing up my background in here, but not having it super slick and being authentic is really what people want to see these days. We've got rock stars and celebrities who are doing the same type of thing with this, just doing stuff on the fly, and so that's okay. And please don't get caught up in feeling like it has to be perfect. But then the other thing, video is king. What we're seeing for people who want to get a message quickly, they want to see, they want to hear, kind of feel touched as much as they can, and that's what video allows, as opposed to back in the days when we used to look at going, okay, we do written stuff for the visual folks, which I am. We do audio for the auditory folks, which I'm not at all. This does both in a lot of ways, and it's just quick and to the point. But one thing I just want to say is, make sure that it does fit you and your product. So as much as we would say, gosh, if any way you can use video, please do. But if you're not, if it doesn't fit you real well, maybe it's something where you can do some snippets. You can do some quick tutorials. You can do something small and just fill that need, fill that benefit actually in a small way. Don't feel like, okay, gosh, these guys are saying you got to do video, so that's what I got to do. That's not the case. And I'll tell you, I did that about, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I got a hold of Gary Vaynerchuk, which interestingly I have on the front cover of Inc. magazine right here. You guys can see he's the guy for this month. Gary Vaynerchuk, he got famous with WineLibrary.com, and he was on there, really animated, entertaining guy for one. And two, he's sampling wine. So he's showing you the bottle. You're looking at it. He pours a glass. He swishes it around with his guest. He spits it in his New York Jets spittoon thing. And there's a lot of visual to see. When you're sharing a message like this, there's not a lot of visual to see. So, in this, I do the live show here because I can do it while I'm recording my podcast, and my podcast is really my main thing. But now, when I do have somebody I'm doing it with, like Libby, and when I'll be doing it with guests, and I may have 4 people there, that does behoove itself to be video focused and to have that as another asset. But again, look at your product, look at your service, look at yourself, and see, does it fit, or if it should fit, how can it fit best? And that's why it's so hard to give cookie cutter information, because we all have unique things that we're doing. Okay, hey, we'll be talking about this in the days to come, the weeks to come, as I utilize this more. And since my business is helping other people with business, I'll be telling you what we're doing and why, and showcasing it to you. Thank you for sticking with us through the bumps here. I'm sorry it wasn't more conversational, but what that does is it gives us a great reason, Libby, to do this again and come back when we can do it a little more fluidly, as we figure out what the heck didn't work today with my stupid audio. So, Libby, if it's okay with you, I'm going to go ahead and sign off with everybody. I'll end the broadcast. I think that leaves us still online together, though, right? Okay, I'm going to end the broadcast, folks. I'll get this thing posted, and we'll be talking more. Again, for those of you who are with me live and hung out through the hiccups here, I am so grateful. Okay, in the chat, speaking of that, so for anybody to go to freeagentuprising.com/live, you can see the comments here. It shows 49 comments just from today, and in there, Libby talked a little bit. She showed her links for that, the Logitech camera. Anything else that you would stick in there, Libby? And I'll just do that when I post this. Give the products that you use, which are your affiliate links that you benefit from as well. But to help people understand this, again, I would just highly encourage you, go to libbyweb.com/live. You can contact her there. Matter of fact, you could probably just go to the comments right down there at the bottom and just ask you a question, easy as can be, right? Yeah, okay. So if you want to connect with Libby, do that. You can do it right on Facebook, libbyweb.com/live. You'll be there on Facebook, which we're all used to and happy with and familiar with. Go there, leave her a comment. You can connect with her, ask her a question. She may answer it for free. She may tell you no. Give a credit card, pay her $1. You can work that out with her. Libby, thank you so much for this, folks. Thanks. I'll be back with you next week, or I may do an impromptu one before then, and we'll talk more about this. Thanks for chiming in to the Free Agent Uprising show. Bye bye.